Hello, everybody. This is Corey Funk for Funk's Film Reviews. The first video I ever did was for this thing is the favorite films of every year I was born, and now I'm literally doing a full-on review of my favorite films of every year since I was born. And this is the first one. I was born in 1981. This is the start of what I thought was an amazing trilogy. Now, the only one that was my top film of the year out of this trilogy was the first one, but I do like the second and third one, even though Tarantino, who is my favorite director, didn't like the third one of this film. I found that out, but I like Tarantino, but this is a time I actually disagree with my favorite director of all time. But the film I'm talking about, 1981, and this is going to be probably one of the few times where the biggest blockbuster of the year is my favorite film of the year. And my favorite film of that year, the year I was born, 1981, stars Harrison Ford, Karen Allen, and it's called Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark. That is my favorite film of the year I was born. And it is the perfect adventure film. It has a lot of amazing, amazing score by John Williams, who people will call the GOAT of film score. The man, I think, has 53 Oscar nominations and 5 wins, if I'm not sure. He's got a lot of Oscar nominations for film score. And reading up on him and all that, he's got the most nominations for, and I think, and most wins for that category of original score. And Harrison Ford plays archaeologist Indiana Jones, who's he's a teacher and all that. They have a lot of amazing scenes in that, like, of course, starting out with the boulder chase, and then there was where he was underneath that truck with the whip carrying, and goes and he fights the Nazis. He's going for the Ark of looking for the Ark of the Covenant. Karen Allen comes in with the scene where she's pretending to be just having a drinking a drink off in all those shots and pretending that she's almost done. She lures them. A good introduction of Karen Allen's character, Marion. And the main villain is Bullock. And yeah, this movie is fantastic in every aspect. It is an amazing action adventure film. And like I said, it started off with an amazing trilogy. The first three, the Raiders of the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom, and Last Crusade, are all amazing films. I don't want to talk about the last, which I think the other ones would have been good if they wouldn't have waited for Harrison Ford to be way older than he is. I feel that doing that at his age, coming back to the sequels that much, was a huge mistake, and you just can't buy Indiana Jones as the adventurer anymore when he was with the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull and Dial of Destiny. You can't buy that anymore, it feels. But yeah, there was a lot of amazing scenes in Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. Like, I thought it was adorable, where Indiana Jones is, like, it's not one of the action scenes, but where he's sore all over his body. And Karen Allen was probably one of the most, quickly romantic scenes in a film, where she's kissing every part that doesn't hurt. And yeah, there's Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark with good old, directed by Steven Spielberg, produced by good old-fashioned George Lucas, who did the original Star Wars movies. Well, he directed the first one. Irvin Kershner did Empire Strikes Back, and I can't remember the director of Return of the Jedi. But it's just everything for, the film is non-packed action in a good way. And the thing is, Harrison Ford's character, Indiana Jones, is a flawed character. He is doing this so he could, basically, he's doing it for fame and fortune, but he's still a good guy in the long run. And they show a bunch of things, he's got the bravery, he's getting the, where he switches that trying to figure out. I'm brain farting there. It was like with that big crystal and all that, where he switches them out, and then they show that he's human because he has a deathly fear of snakes, and it shows that he's got fears. And I don't care what anybody says when it comes to this. Everybody that says that they're not, everybody has a fear. Just some are more prevalent than others. And 1981 was a good year for film and all that. Like other movies that I really loved the year I was born was Henry Fonda's final performance, and Katharine Hepburn, who both won their Oscars in On Golden Pond, which would probably be my second favorite film of the year I was born. But there's just so much about Indiana Jones, and when I was a child and I followed into the Indiana Jones category, that the first Indiana Jones was the first movie I would put as my favorite film of the year, like I said, year I was born. And next one I will do is 1982, and if you watch the video of it, you know every film I'm going to talk about for the first 40. Like I didn't put the year 2024 yet. That will be when the year is finished that I put my favorite film of the year, and I will do a top 10 list of that. But yeah, so Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark is my favorite film. And yeah, there's just a lot. You had Jonathan Rhys-Davies is another one who was in Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark, who eventually played Gimli in the Lord of the Rings trilogy. And if you pay attention, like a lot of my movies, there might be a few of the top movies of the year for blockbuster wise that are my favorites, but not everyone will be my favorite of the year that's blockbuster. A prime example is the Return of the King. Now, I love Return of the King. I love the Lord of the Rings trilogies, but there's another movie that ends up meaning a lot more to me. And like I said, these are all just my opinions. You don't have to agree at all, and please don't. Let everybody have their opinions. If everybody agreed on everything, this world would be incredibly boring. But yeah, so this is my very first review for Funk's Film Reviews. I will actually, when I get to the other ones, like every one of these first ones I'm doing is my favorite films of that year, from this one, 81, going all the way to 2023. And every one of these films, I will give a double gold medal. Is like my reviews will be when it happens. I will have double crap, single crap, an onion, which are films right in the middle, a single gold, which are really good films, and then double golds are my masterpieces, my 5 stars, as you will, or 2 really big thumbs up. That's how I'm going to do my reviews. The double crap, worst movies. Single crap, bad movies, but they're not the god-awful. The Onion, they're right in the middle. The 3-star movies, I guess you could say, to 2.5-star movies. And then the single gold, which are really good, and the double gold. When double gold are masterpieces. If you hear me say, and Indiana Jones, probably the best action-adventure film of all time. Some people might go Mad Max Fury Road, which it's a really good film, but it doesn't end up being my top film in these reviews. But I do like it, and they will end up like that film is in my top 10 of 2015, but it's not my top film. You'll hear that when you go in. But yeah, the first one, Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark, directed by Steven Spielberg. Favorite film of 1981, the year I was born. And then my next review will be 1982. Peace. Have a good one.